Hello and welcome to the Sketchbook Saga. This time we are diving in with yet another video about the 30-minute drawing for beginners book. Now, as I've said before, this book's from Jordan de Wilde. I'm not advertising for this book or anything of that nature. It's one of the ones I picked up for basic beginner drawing work, though. And it's been one of my favorites as far as the basis of learning. Although it's not giving me too many granular steps to work with, it starts simple, it stays simple, it gives me good things to basically to tackle and to practice. So today we're doing the Chapter 2, Exercise 3 here, which is the drawing of a sphere. And there's not a whole lot to drawing a sphere here, but it's another one of those core fundamental shapes that, whether you think there's much to it or not, it can deeply impact your drawing. So this is one of those things that I recommend flagging. This is one of those things I recommend you doing a lot, and for a couple reasons. So getting the essence or the idea of a sphere down on a page is not really that difficult, and you can see me execute that here. Whether you think well or not might be up for debate, but those are clearly spheres. That being said, circles are the core of spheres, and circles tend to be notoriously tricky. So if you were to go out there and you were to look at all the spheres that I've drawn there on the page, well, what is the most common denominator of things that I could improve on? It's the shape of the sphere itself. It's its spherical nature. And the reason that's the issue is because I don't really draw good circles. If you were to look directly to the bottom here, that tiny little circle, well, that's not much of a circle at all. So that's really what needs to be adjusted to make these more of a sphere or a ball instead of just kind of these little amorphous blobs. That's the main thing we need to work on. The thing that you would use to do this would be to draw a circle. Use tight and loose lines, meaning you don't want it to be overly sketched here. I did this with pen. I've been trying to practice some with pen and some with pencil. Largely, I want to be a pen and ink drawing person, but I think pencil is the best place to start for most artists. Then you're going to be drawing an oval underneath to represent the direction the shadow is cast. I've tried to do this in a couple of different directions on this one. It was really important to me to kind of outline different shapes, and I thought, hey, this is going to be a cool thing to do, is just draw a bunch of circles in a circle, and then I have the array of shadows and shapes and the way they would cast. And then you're going to be shading the sphere from light to dark as it gets further away from its light source. I try a bunch of different shading techniques here. I don't find any of them to be horribly successful in pen, and pen is still something I really struggle with from a shading perspective. But overall, I think it's good to practice with additional mediums, though if I were just to pick a medium to grab and stick with for a beginner artist, I think my current suggestion would be to stay with charcoal or pencil. I think it's the most malleable. I think you can work with your mistakes a bit better, though you could say that pen has the different balance in that where you can work with your mistakes in graphite and in pencil, you're also prone to fixing those mistakes too many times. You're prone to doing it over and over and over and over again, looking for perfection, when moving on, nailing in your practice, and doing it yet again is probably actually the better decision. Overall, I think I was pretty happy with this little drawing. It doesn't show anything stellar, but it is good practice, and we spent about 15 minutes on this drawing. So something I recommend, draw some circles, draw some spheres, and you will get better. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.